Okay, good morning everyone. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on this sunny-ish Sunday morning. There was a small child, I think, outside practicing playing the trumpet or the flute or something a minute ago. So I really hope that they don't start up that partway through our meditation. But apologies if you do hear any weird noises. So thank you so much for coming today. I'm going to begin by talking firstly about the chakra that we've reached in our sessions this week. So I'll be introducing it to you. We'll then look at kind of imbalances, blockages, that sort of thing regarding chakra. And then different ways, different tools that we can use to heal it, and we'll be experimenting with a couple of those tools, and there'll be a bit of room for just ideas at the end, whether you want to actually write them down or whether it's something that you just sit and contemplate. So if you do have a pen and paper to hand, it might be handy, and you're obviously going to need somewhere comfortable to sit, so maybe you've got a cushion or a chair or both. Okay, so as we know, we've been working our way up through the chakras in the body. We're looking at the main chakras that are associated with Sushumna, which is the main nadi or channel which runs through the center of our spine from the base of our spine to the crown of our head. So we've worked our way up. We've spent the last, blimey, it must be 6 weeks, because we've now arrived to our throat chakra. So we were at our heart chakra, and now we've arrived at our 5th chakra, which is in the throat. So like our heart chakra, at first, sounds like I have a problem with my throat chakra already. At first, we obviously can imagine what this chakra represents. It's in our throat. It's, I suppose, obviously related to our voice, to words, and to communication. And all of these things are true, but there's a little more to it than what initially first meets the eye. So once we've arrived at this throat chakra, we are now officially in the point of the chakras where we are edging more into the spiritual world and less into the physical world. So all the other chakras were kind of quite physical and grounding, and they represented the outside or the human world, if you like. And then we met our Anahata chakra, so our heart chakra, and this was the point where our inner and outer worlds started to mix and converge. And now we're at the throat chakra. We are officially in what you would class as the higher, the spiritually higher chakras. But still with quite a firm footing in this chakra to the outside world. It is like a bridge, if you imagine, as we have to communicate ourselves, communicate our inner truth to the outside world. And our throat, our voice, and our words are how we do this. So the throat chakra, its Sanskrit name is called Vishuddha, which means pure or purification. And the element, as all of the chakras have an element, the element we're at now, unsurprisingly, is sound. So let's just talk a little bit more firstly about the characteristics of the throat chakra. So this chakra is related to the element of sound. So you can tell from the element that we're already starting to get kind of more lighter and more spiritual. And in my notes here, I've written down that through the throat, sound is propagated into the air, and its vibration can be felt not just in our ears, but also in our whole body. So it's an important instrument of communication and expression. It is literally our tool, our instrument to express our inner world, our inner desires, our inner thoughts to the outside. So we make choices how we use our voice in relation to how and what we wish to communicate. So we're starting to think a little bit more about this. So it's our tool of expression, and in particular, it is our ability to express our truth and to speak out. So this could be on issues that you feel strongly about, your morals. It could be the idea of not wanting to be, a bystander, wanting to be an active bystander. communication, whether it's verbal or non-verbal, and external or internal. And also our connection with the higher realm, as we touched on before, so the more subtle realms of spirit, and our intuitive abilities as well. So this includes our ability to create and projecting ideas and blueprints into reality. So putting across, articulating ourselves into what we want and what we need, which also ties in with realizing our purpose, whether that's our vocation, our purpose in life. So physically, this chakra is obviously related to the throat. It ties in with the shoulders, with the neck, and also our jaw, our mouth, our teeth, and it's connected to our thyroid gland. So we've learned that each of the chakras tends to have a gland, a controlling gland. So this one is the thyroid gland. So think your truth, your purpose in life, expressing that purpose, expressing your creativity. And something important to note as well with this chakra is it has a clear connection with our sacral chakra. So our chakra, known as the seat of our emotions that we looked at before, and the seat of our creativity, is closely connected to the throat, because it's able to, it means that we are able to project our creativity, to speak our creativity, to put our creativity into action. And it's also closely linked with the heart chakra, because it allows us to speak our feelings, to speak our desires, basically the bridge where we communicate our inner thoughts, our inner desires to the outside world, to articulate them. So other things that I've noted down here that I wanted to talk about is expression with a sense of authenticity. So in the research that I did surrounding this chakra, it talked a lot about not only just communication, but thoughtful communication. So considering whether your thoughts and whether your communications are in line with your heart, are in line with your morals, are in line with your higher purpose. So I think it made me think of like times where we've all been a bit guilty of maybe joining in with gossip, or saying something bad about someone else, and then afterwards going away and thinking, oh, I wish I hadn't got involved with that conversation, or I wish I hadn't have contributed to that situation, because now I've come away and I've thought about it, it wasn't the kind thing to do, and it wasn't the right thing to do. So this is about kind of considering the words that you use, the kind of communication that you engage in, and making sure when you can, I mean, we're all human, that it aligns to our higher purpose and our true value and our true morals, and has a sense of authenticity. And this also led me to think about, there's a quote, and I think it's actually your words become the house you live in, but it could also be your thoughts become the house you live in. You know, what you think about, you then tend to start to talk about, and then what you talk about becomes your actions, and then your actions become your life. They become the house that you live in. So it's really important for us to start to become aware of how our words and what we say contribute to our lives. So that came up a lot when I was researching this chakra. So opening the throat chakra can greatly help align your vision with reality and release pressure that may affect the heart chakra. So if the heart chakra is feeling stifled and like it can't express itself. And it strongly links to the sacral chakra of emotions and creativity. It's the expressive form of this. So having this chakra imbalance would feel like being able to communicate in line with your heart, in line with your purpose. It would be standing up for what you believe in, expressing yourself, articulating yourself, saying no when you need to, so practicing having healthy personal boundaries, and being open and honest in what you say. But being considerate with what you say, so not just saying whatever you think. There's a quote, actually, I was going to read it out later, but I think it's more relevant to read it now, and that is, before you speak, let your words pass through 3 gates. At the first gate, ask yourself, is it true? At the second gate, ask, is it necessary? And at the third gate, ask, is it kind? So that's a Rumi quote that I thought was really, really relevant to this form of communication. And equally, we've talked a lot about actually outward communication and talking, but when this chakra is in balance, it also makes us a really good listener, because we're understanding of how the way communication works and that it's a two-way process. So we enable the other person to have the experience of being heard, which is one of the most profound human needs. Okay, so moving briefly onto issues or symptoms with this chakra. So a blocked throat chakra can contribute to feelings of insecurity. You may become quite introverted. You may feel timid or shy, perhaps awkward or uncomfortable in social situations. But then on the other end of the spectrum, as we know, we can have a kind of blocked or underactive chakra, and also an overactive chakra. So for the overactive, this could lead to us being too much of a gossip, not knowing when to just stop talking, perhaps not being a very good listener. So maybe when someone's talking, all you're doing is thinking of what you're going to say next, instead of really being present and hearing the person. And it can go as far as being verbally aggressive or mean. And it can seem as though the filter between what you have in your mind and what comes out in your mouth is not working. So that, to me, you know, the phrase that springs to mind is verbal diarrhea. You're literally just talking, and you're not thinking about what you're saying. Physical issues with your throat chakra can be problems to do with the mouth, to do with the teeth, to do obviously with the throat. So maybe you're someone that suffers with tonsillitis on a regular basis, or laryngitis. And then of course we've got the thyroid issues. So an imbalance with your thyroid gland, that would also tie in with this chakra, this communication chakra. So yeah, that's just a few of the symptoms. Other things are telling lies, an excessive fear of speaking, whether it's public speaking or just general social communication, and a lack of connection with a vocation or purpose in life. So ideas of how to heal. So healing the chakras, all the tools are very similar, but different chakras can have slightly more powerful tools depending on what they are. So starting with the ones that are kind of more standard to other chakras, there's obviously certain stones. So the color of this chakra is a light blue color. So any stones like aquamarine, sapphire, blue, tourmaline, and sodalite would be really good for this chakra. And I actually read in several places that to do a nice meditation, I mean, you could even do the one that we're about to do in a moment, and rest these stones on your throat is incredibly powerful. So that sounded interesting. The incense to use, or the essential oil to use, is frankincense, which is also known to be really powerful in healing an underactive thyroid. So that's quite an interesting one. The herb is chamomile. So chamomile tea, very soothing, and actually all of the The foods that it recommended were fruits, all fruits, and teas. So any herbal teas that are really soothing for the throat, particularly chamomile, is good for this chakra. And then moving on to the more powerful and probably obvious tools for healing this chakra. Deep breathing exercises, so pranayama, breath work, of which we're going to be doing an experiment with a pranayama session in a moment. Yoga, so thinking about opening the throat, opening the chest, using the neck, using the shoulders, and then anything related to becoming vocal, so getting vocal, whether it's singing in the shower or talking to someone on the phone instead of texting them, or better still, meeting them in person if you can. And then communication experiments, so maybe writing letters or postcards, something that perhaps you used to do a long time ago and have just given up now for texting. Learning another language, so kind of experimenting with the use of language and the use of words. And then finally, sound, so sound healing, really powerful one for this chakra. And there's a particular mantra. The mantra for this, the throat chakra, is hum, H-U-M. So this is really powerful because getting on the same frequency by using this mantra as the energy in the throat area removes blockages and strengthens. Okay, so we're going to have a go now at a meditation. So we're firstly going to begin with a little bit of centering and arrival, and then we're going to look at a breath called a throat lock breath. The idea is that it is external retention, so we're holding out the breath. So I'm just, while you're here with your eyes open, I'm just going to demonstrate how we do it. We're going to be taking a breath in, and then we'll take a breath out. And as we breathe out, once we've finished exhaling, we drop the chin towards the chest. So we're using our throat bander, our throat lock in effect. So we're locking energy in the area of the throat, which is a really healing routine for this chakra. So we drop the chin to the chest and we just pause for a moment. It's up to you how long you pause, but I encourage you not to go too far. We don't want to be feeling dizzy or weird. So just a small pause. And then when you're ready to inhale again, we lift up the head and we inhale and we exhale, and then we drop the chin to the chest. And we're just going to repeat this. Just keep this going for a minute or two. From there, we're going to move on to a short meditation, and then our hum, our mantra. We're going to do a little practice of that, and some affirmations to finish on. So if you need to just take a moment to stretch out your legs, if you've been sitting like I have for a little while, then perhaps standing up, having a little stretch, preparing your space to enter a period of quiet and calm. Maybe turning phones onto silent. Just getting everything ready, and then coming down to find a comfortable seat. So the only rule for a meditation practice is that you find a straight spine. So it doesn't really matter whether you are using a chair, whether you're sitting on the floor. We just want to think about bringing that spine into alignment. And let's just rest the hands anywhere on the lap, your choice, whether you want the palms to be down, if you need to perhaps feel a little bit more of a grounding sensation, or instead, which I suppose would be more in tune with our throat, our higher chakra, have the palms facing up. So stacking head in line with heart, heart in line with hips. And if you feel comfortable to do so, close the eyes or just bring the gaze so that it's low towards the floor. So in this way, we just withdraw an extra sense. So starting to draw our attention inwards and less likely to be distracted by anything going on around us. Feel yourself arrive to your space. Can you feel the connection between your sit bones and the floor or the chair, the cushion? Can you say to yourself, I have arrived? Bring your attention to your breath that is always in the present moment. So a handy tool, if ever your mind has run away with you, you're in a period of anxiety, of stress, you can always bring your attention back to the breath, even if you're forcing yourself to listen in at first. So just with a sense of lightness now, begin to listen in and connect to that breath. Just taking regular breaths, no need to change them or adjust them. As you inhale now, we're going to imagine the breath running up along the spine. And on your exhale, running all the way back down the spine. So it flows from your tailbone up to the crown of your head and back down, and you trace it every step of the way. Where the breath goes, energy flows. And we encourage this free flow of breath and so energy running up and down our main nadi, our main channel, Sushumna. So slowly now releasing this visualization and just sitting with the breath. We're going to begin our pranayama, our breathwork exercise. So take a breath in when you're ready. And then when you're ready, exhale. Once you've exhaled, drop your chin towards your chest. So locking the throat, locking the energy. Pause, and whenever is good for you, we don't need to hold this to our limit. Just re-lift the head and continue to breathe in. Exhale. Chin drops down to chest. Pause. External retention. Slowly re-lift the head. Take your inhale. And we just keep going. So exhale. Chin to chest. Pause. Lift the head and breathe in. So let's just do another minute or so of this. Just, you can follow your own rhythm. If you begin to feel dizzy or lightheaded, then just stop with the practice. Maybe open your eyes, just return to a normal breath. So just take one more round of throat lock breath. And as your next inhale returns you back up, pause there and just allow the breath to completely return to normal. Bring your awareness to the breath. Noticing the rise and fall of the chest, the natural rhythm of breathing. If you find your thoughts wandering, just gently come back to this meditation. Thoughts are okay, just let them come, welcome them, but then gently let them go by returning either to the sound of my voice or to your breath. Be kind to yourself. So begin to breathe in deeply. Take a deep breath, first into your diaphragm and then into your chest. Inhale as much as you can. And then slowly begin to release the air, starting with your chest, then your belly. So let's do this for 2 more breaths. So inhaling diaphragm, chest. Exhale, chest and belly. One more inhale, diaphragm and chest. Exhale, chest and belly. Now gradually bring your attention to the root of your being, the base of the spine. A tiny ball of red energy spins here. Bring your attention slightly further upwards towards your sacral chakra, 2 fingers below the belly button. And its energy here is orange. The solar plexus chakra is above that. It is a tiny ball of yellow energy, 2 fingers above the belly button. At the center of your chest is the heart chakra. It's a tiny ball of green energy. These red, orange, yellow, and green balls of energy spin and grow. As they get bigger, their energy moves up towards the throat. So located at the base of the throat is the chakra, the throat chakra. It's a tiny sky blue light spinning. With each breath, grow this light. Expand it first to your neck, then expand again to the mouth, the ears, and your entire head. Take another breath and continue to expand this light. Expand until it is all around you and you are in a bubble of blue light. Hold this light around you for 3 complete breaths. Focus now this beautiful blue light back on the throat. Begin to coat the throat with the light, both inside and out. Illuminate the voice box, the thyroid, and all around the neck. Send this light to the mouth to coat your teeth, your tongue, and your lips. This light expands to your ears, awakening your ability to listen. This light heals all areas as it moves over them. Blue filaments of light glide over and all around the throat, strengthening your voice. So keeping your breath normal, breathing naturally. In a moment, I will be guiding you through a few slower breaths before beginning to chant the word hum. You can chant silently, whisper, or say the word aloud. Hum resonates with the throat chakra, awakening and strengthening it. As you breathe, bring the air into your belly. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now inhale to chant. Inhale to chant. Inhale to chant. Inhale to chant, final time. Okay, just allow your breath to return to normal. The blue light still surrounding you. Your voice and all the areas in the throat chakra absorb this light and awaken. as we strengthen and use our throat chakra to allow stronger and clearer communication. Is there anything that comes to mind that you would love to express to someone? It could be something that you would like to tell them, that you'd like to say, and ultimately that you would like to let go of. We find ourselves at a full moon again today, so this is an extra powerful time to consider something that we'd like to actually get off our chest, to release. If your heart could communicate with your throat right now, what would it say? Just listening in with a kind and compassionate ear. Perhaps you would like to tell someone that you love them, that you forgive them, or that you're sorry. These 3 sayings or mantras, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry, they have the power to heal others, but more importantly, they have the power to heal ourselves. So could today be the day that you start to release any toxicity that you've held on to surrounding these kind mantras? Just giving the final few moments just to listen in. Maybe something comes forward for you, maybe it doesn't. That's okay. So we're going to round up our meditation now just by incorporating some affirmations, some positive affirmations, some encouragement for our throat chakra to seal the practice. So you can just sit and listen to these words, or if you'd like to repeat them after me out loud or in your head, you can. I live with integrity and authenticity. I am able to express myself and convey my needs. My words are an honest reflection of what I believe. I have the right to be heard. Gradually now, let's bring the hands together in front of the heart, palm to palm. Begin to rub the palms together. Release them over the eyes. Flicker open the eyes. Spread the fingers, let in the light. And adjusting to the room, releasing your hands to your lap. Okay, so just a small opportunity now to grab your pen and paper, or instead just sit in quiet contemplation, either now or when we soon finish this session. So just a couple of kind of things to be considering now, and perhaps for the week ahead. I thought perhaps it would be good to consider someone that you have difficult communications with. So this could be someone that just came up for you in the meditation, and we were thinking about someone that we would like to express something to. So it could be someone, I mean, it could be someone that's you're really close to, and it's a very complicated situation, or it could just be someone, I don't know, someone in your local shop that you feel like you always seem to have some kind of awkward conversation with, and you're not sure why. It could even be someone that unfortunately is no longer around anymore. But just considering if there is a way, writing down 1 to 5 steps, so however many you can think of ways for you to heal your communication with this person. So if it's someone that's still around today, maybe an example would be thinking, okay, well, every time I have texts or emails with this person, it always gets misconstrued. Our communications just don't match, and we get confused by what someone means, and we get frustrated. So a kind of step, a positive step in the right direction would be perhaps to pick up the phone and actually call this person, or see if they're available to meet in person and talk. So that's just one idea. An idea maybe for someone that you either can no longer have physical contact with, whether they're no longer alive, or whether it's just such a complicated relationship that it's unlikely that you can speak to them in person to release these feelings that you have. Then writing a letter is a very powerful technique. So writing a letter directly to them, telling them how you feel, are you maybe even able to apologize to them, or, whatever it might be. And a strong ritual around the time of a full moon is to actually write a letter to someone and then burn it. So this is something that you might consider doing. Be particularly strong around this time of the full moon, where we consider letting go of things. So maybe just jotting down a few things that come to mind, ideas to help heal your communication with someone else. Also perhaps considering whether you need to burn that bridge that you've perhaps already set fire to. Is there a way to try and instead set yourself free in another way? And then just a few more ideas for kind of homework, if you like. You can continue this writing or this journaling exercise. If you feel you need to or like to in your own time, it's good to just basically this week, as we focus on the throat in our asana classes, so our physical classes, it's good to just also go a little bit deeper than the physical, and just consider how you can begin to bring your communication in alignment with your heart. So consider your words, and consider them passing through those 3 gates that we talked about before. Aligning them, your words with your heart, your words become your actions, and so become your life. And they also represent you. So are you speaking, are you talking in a way that you feel proud of, that you're happy to be represented as? Because your words do represent you as well as your actions. Can you perhaps pause in times of emotional conflict, or when an argument is brewing with another person? Can you instead pause, return to your breathing, allow yourself to calm down, notice your breathing, notice your heart rate? These are indications about whether you're responding through emotion instead of rationality. And just get vocal this week. So let's sing, let's speak, let's consider all forms of our communication. Can we try some new forms of communication? Can you communicate clearly, and pausing before responding filled with emotion? And just final thought, is there something that you specifically need to work on with your communication? Has something come up for you during this session, or a relationship a relationship's communication that needs your attention? And can you make steps towards improving this relationship, improving this style of communication in general or with this person starting today? What could you do today? Being open to opportunities as well. We bring in some of this manifesting. So being awake and open to opportunities to improve your communication style. Okay, so we're going to finish there. We definitely ran over. This was more of a 45-minute class, so I'm sorry about that. But if you've got the recording, then maybe you can pause it and come back to it. And if anyone here would like the recording, if you know, you had to leave early or you got distracted at some point, then you can always ask me for it and I will send it to you. So namaste everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in another class soon. Take care. We'll just come and end the recording now and unmute anyone if you've got any questions. Thank you.